Right, so welcome back to another episode of the 100 Days Design Challenge with Xpress-Pixels. And today we'll be starting it with a new flyer, and this is a new week also. So for this week, we'll be doing food-based flyers, menus, and all of that. So we'll just dive right to the design we have for today. All right, so the first thing I want to do is select a canvas size. Okay, so the canvas size I'll be working with is 1024 by 1024 pixels, and then I'm just going to click on create. Good. All right, so now the first thing I want to do is import my first resource. I might not necessarily need to add a new background. Let me just go here. All right, this is what I'll be using. Let me drag this and drop it out of Photoshop. Good, so let me just expand this to take up the whole space. All right, now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to go to my filter here and pick Gaussian blur. So I'll go to my filter here, go to blur, and then select Gaussian blur. Good. So let's just adjust this. It's too much. All right, this is okay. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go to my shape tool, select the ellipse tool, and then I'm just going to press shift so I'll get a perfect circle, and I'm just going to drag. All right, good. So I'm just going to drag this to centralize it. Let me change this color of this. So let's pick, let's see, yellow. Let's work with yellow. All right, let me use this. Great. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to import my next resource. Okay, so I'm just going to go to have my resources. Go to have my resources, and I'm just going to select one of it. All right, so I'm going to be selecting this here. So I'm going to take this, drag and drop it out of Photoshop. Good. So let me just reduce this. Let me reduce it. I'm going to centralize it in the middle here. Increase a bit. So I'm just going to centralize it in the middle here. Okay, let me increase this. All right, so this ellipse added at the back. Let me increase it also. Good. And let me centralize this. All right. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go to my shape tool. So I'm going to pick the rectangle tool and I'm going to drag across. All right, this is okay. Now I'm going to add a radius here. So I'm going to just drag this corner here in. Now let me change the color of this. So I'm going to go to my fill and then I'm going to select. I'm going to pick color and then I'm going to select this. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Good. So now I'm just going to take this drag. Let me rotate this. So I'm going to rotate this, rotate here. All right. Let me rotate it a bit. It's too much. Let me. I think this is okay. Good. So now I'm just going to place this here. I'm going to duplicate it. Just press Alt and then you drag again. Place this here. And I'm going to drag again. Place this here. I'm going to repeat the same thing for this side too. I'm going to place this here. I'm going to duplicate this also again. Place this here. And then duplicate for the last time and place this here. Good. So all of these are supposed to be behind this plate. Okay, this plate of food. So I'm going to drag and drop behind. So let me just add them as a group. Let me just create them as a group. Good. Right now, so the next thing I want to do is click all of this. So I'm just going to rotate them. All right. All right, that's good. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to import the next resource I'll be using. I'm going to come here. I'm going to go to where I have my resources and I'm going to pick all these plates of food. Okay, these are the resources I want to import. So I'm going to select all of them. Just drag these and drop. Alright, so we'll start with the first plate. So I'm just going to reduce this and place this here. So you just adjust it, centralize it, then okay. Now the next plate of food, I'm going to reduce this also, and I'm going to place this here also. Place this here. Alright. Then I'm going to add the next plate of food. I'm just going to reduce this and place this here also. Okay. I'm going to do the same for this other one. So I'm going to reduce this and place this here. Alright, now for the last one, I'm going to reduce this and place this here. So let me just increase it a bit. Alright, enter. That's good. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is right on this plate here, right in front of this, I'm just going to go to my effect and I'm going to add a drop shadow, okay? I'm going to select drop shadow. Good. So you can copy my settings here. And then I'm going to on these plates also, all of them here, I'm just going to do the same thing, drop shadow. I'm going to do the same thing to every single one of them. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing to this also, drop shadow. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing to also to this one here. I'm going to drop shadow. Okay, and do the same thing here too. And then now for the last one here, we're going to drop shadow. Alright, okay. Okay. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my shape tool, I'm going to select the rectangle tool, okay, and then I'm just going to expand. I'm going to drag here right on top. Alright, so I'm going to add a radius here at this corner. Good. The fill now I'm just going to select no. I don't want anything inside of it. Then the stroke I'm going to select white. Let's reduce that. That's too much. So I'm just going to reduce this. Alright, I think that's good to go. Alright, so I'm just going to drag these to this side. Okay. And I'm going to duplicate it. So just press Ctrl J right on top of it. Then the one I duplicated, just rotate it a bit. Good. Alright, now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add the next resource I'll be using. So I'm just going to take this here. I'm just going to take it, drag and drop side of Photoshop. Alright, so now what I want to do is I'm going to just give it a color value of white. So I'm just going to add a color overlay of white. Good. So let me just select the white. All right. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to reduce this, reduce the size of this, reduce this, the size of this. All right. Rotate this, place this here. Okay. Let me just increase this a bit. This is a tag that will be having our logo, the business logo. Let me place this here. All right, that's good. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to import my next resource, of course. So I'm just going to go back to have my resources, and then I'm going to drag this next resource onto. I'm going to drag these and drop inside of Photoshop. All right, so I just need the logo. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my selection tool, and I'm going to pick magic one. I just select the white. Good. So what I'm just going to do now, I'm just going to remove this. But what's removed is not actually what I want to be removed. So I'm just going to press Control I to invert that. Okay. And then I'm going to reduce this and place it inside here. Okay. So this is good. All right. So now the next thing I want to write, I want to add is I'm going to import a shape to rectangle. So I'm just going to drag across here. All right. So I'm going to add a radius. Just drag this in. Good. I'm going to reduce the fill. I'm going to select no, I don't want anything inside of it. Then for the stroke, I'm just going to select the white. Good. So now I'm just going to reduce this to around 2 or 3 depending. Okay, let's say 3 is okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to rotate this. Okay, rotate this a bit. All right. All right, now so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add my text. I'm just going to take my text. I'm going to take this text and then I'm going to click and write the word open now. I'm going to click once and then write the word open now. So in caps OPE and then now NOW. Good. So now for the open, I'm going to be using the text color white. I'm just going to select this and change the color to white. Okay. So in case you're wondering the fonts I'm using the product sans. And then for the now, I'm going to change the color to yellow. Okay. So yellow, yellow. This is okay. So I'm going to select, take this now. I'm going to place it inside here. Alright, so for my text here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the space in between is too much. Open and now the space in between is too much. I'm going to select all two. Let me reduce this. Let me just drag and reduce this. Okay, let me reduce this. Let me select them. I'm just going to select these and then I'm going to reduce the space in between them. And just increase this a bit. Alright, so let me see reduce this. Okay, let me rotate this. Alright, and then I'm just going to place inside here. Right, so now the next thing I want to do is add my next resource, of course. So the next resource I want to add here is I'm just going to go to my so the next resource I want to add here, I'm just going to go to my so so this is it here, and the smoke also, and this. Okay, so I'm just going to drag them and drop inside of Photoshop. Okay. So now the first one is this. So let me just reduce this a bit. Drag this here. Reduce this. Okay. Enter. So now the next resource. Now this here, I'm just going to go to my selection tool, and then I'm going to select the magic point, select the white, okay, and then remove it. I'm going to invert this, Control I to invert just the black part of it. Then I'm going to reduce it. Good. So let me place it here. Alright, we'll come back to that in a while. So now for this smoke, I want to change the smoke to white. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to my color overlay, and then I'm just going to is there so you can select the color from here. White. Okay, it's white already. So let me just increase this a bit. Alright, so I don't want it to be too obvious. Just reduce your opacity small. Just reduce your opacity a bit. Just drag this down to around here. I think this is good. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is before that, let me take this smoke just right behind the logo. Yeah, okay, I don't want it to be in front. It needs to be behind. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to take now on this shape tool we added here, I'm just going to take my brush tool, and then I'm going to create a layer on top of this. I'm just going to take my brush tool and just let me reduce this and just wipe this part out and wipe here also out. Good. Alright, so what I want to do here is I'm going to take my shape tool, pick the ellipse tool, pick the ellipse tool, press my shift so I get a perfect square. Alright, I'm going to change this to white, and then I'm going to drag it behind this location here. Good. I want the location to be in front. So let me reduce all of this, both the location, the ellipse I added there, and also this shape here. So let me just select this and then reduce this. Alright, that's good. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to take this. Let me add a color overlay first. Color overlay of white. Color value of white. Okay, that's good. Alright, so let me just convert this to a smart object. I'm going to right click and convert to a smart object, and then I'm going to come to my tool here, rectangle marquee tool. Just select this, and then I'm going to separate it, convert to a smart object. Good. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to write the text. Okay, let me change this the color of this, to I'm going to go to my color valley and then I'm going to change the color to yellow. We've worked with a lot of white. It's about time we work with yellow. I'm going to change it to yellow. Okay. So I'm just going to add my what's left now is just a few text. So I'm going to rotate this. Before I do that, let me add my text first. I'm going to take my text to, and then I'm going to add the text delivery available. So delivery available. So Control A. Let me break this first from the middle. Let me take away this A here. So I'm going to select this Control A and then I'm just going to pick the color white. So I'm going to reduce the size of this text, okay? I'm going to drag this down. It's too much. It's too much. Drag that down a bit. So now the spacing between them is too much. I'm going to select the auto first. Alright. So I'm just going to change this font. I don't want it to be this bold. I'm going to select the product sans regular. I'm going to use the regular. No, let me use the italic. Good, good. So I'm going to drag this and drop on like here. So I'm going to duplicate this text. I just want to press Alt and then I'm going to drag it out. So I want to use to write my location. So I'm just going to put the location there. I'm going to edit this and write so opposite Ayamolowo Street Mosque behind Olatile Street, comma, Faja Shopping Mall, Faja Shopping Mall, Ogun State, Ogun State. Full stop. So I'm just going to take this text here and then I'm going to increase it a bit. So let me just rotate this so that it takes the shape. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to add one more text, okay, a few of text. So I'm just going to duplicate this text alt and then I'm going to copy and drop here. So I'm just going to write the word spaghetti. So jollof spaghetti. S-P-A-G S-P-A-G-E-T-T-R. I'm going to select this and then I'm going to change the color to a dark shade of red. Alright, so something around this should be okay. Alright, So you can, I'm just duplicating this, so I'm just going to edit the text at each point. So to duplicate, you just press Alt and then you click and drag it. Okay. So this first one here is, let me just edit this. So I can just change this to jollof rice. Okay, jollof rice. And then I can change this to fried rice. Now here also just okay pepper soup. So here pepper soup, and then here you can just, okay, let's just assume it's coconut rice. So this is coconut, and then I'm just going to change this and lots more, and yeah, I think that's about all. So now next I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this, Shift Control Alt E. Okay. So let me know if I can reduce that. So Shift Control Alt E, and then I'm just going to edit it. Go to my camera, for my filter, camera raw filter. I'm just going to edit a bit. Sure, it's like this. That's not the So I'm just going to edit this. Let me just increase the vibrance, make the colors are not popping to pop, and then increase the texture also. Good, and then clarity a bit. This bring out the details. All right, and then okay. Good. So this is our design. All right. So that we've come to the end of the design class for today. I hope you learned something. I'm going to see you in the next video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.